Hi, Ben.
Hi, George. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. Mother, I always love her, my mother, so treat her right, treat her right.
Wanna have you hear me? I wanna have you hear me say it.
Oh.
Who's the guy Bombad?
Stay Bombad. Welcome to the Bombadcast.
How are you doing and how do you watch Star Wars? That's a weird question. I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of us don't think about it enough. How do we watch it? What do we take away when we do watch it? And what's the best way to watch it? That being said, you're watching us, and that's all that matters. You know who it is. It's your boy, Scotty Jarrow with the Bombadcast every Thursday. You might be new here. You might be old here, but you know this is a fact of life. Every Thursday, Bombadcast, 8 o'clock. Even it could even be 8:30. Okay, we're starting a little late. That's fine. Had some stuff going on. That being said, every Thursday, meet us, hang out with us here. We had a really awesome week this week. Literally, we've gone live every week. Monday, we had an incredible experience with this. Okay, we did not expect to have such a successful night. We had over 450 people watching us live when this night went down. And then Hyperfocus with my boy every Tuesday, Jerry Cable. We had a great night. I was actually on there with him that night. It was amazing. It was fantastic. Then Wednesday, okay, last night we played some For Rush with Love. Next week, you really got to tune in. We're doing some Destroy All Humans and Bombad Gaming. And then, of course, you've made it here. You've made it to Thursday. My voice is hoarse, not from just doing streams, but from talking so much as a teacher. It was one of those weeks, people. And that being said, I'm going to bring in my favorite student. One of the weirdest things I ever called him. The student I love is going to show up right here. And Jerry, if I'm not mistaken, there he is.
Hi.
He's got some special guests.
Well, listen. Our guests are backstage. They are waiting. Our special guests.
Oh.
I'm excited. They're ready to go.
Really?
So here, without further ado, here they are, special guests.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share.
What is it?
Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A sour stick
Hell yeah, get it.
a broken bottle top.
And a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer if he
Yeah, get it.
Time for us to
Make
take
that
a break.
change, baby.
But we wouldn't dream of being gone for long. See you in a little bit.
Yes, that was
We
the
lost
one.
7 viewers.
We lost 7 viewers, but that was worth it. Listen, if you can't handle us at our Munches Make Believe Band, you don't handle us at you don't
new
deserve
name.
us at our best.
That's
the new name?
Yes, the original name is, I'm looking at it right now, Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater. Okay, that was what it was called, but they're not.
Well, that's the name of the
Munches-
stage, right? Like Munches Make Believe
think-
Band.
But they had a better name than that. It was not Munches Make
Munch.
Believe.
I
Band.
love Munches Make Believe Band because that's like very Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. I
Maybe
love
it
it.
was.
I love it.
I thought
You're
it had a
right.
cooler
You're
name.
damn right. You're damn right. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Munches Make Believe Band is like that is the Dave Matthews Band of pizza entertainment palaces.
Showbiz Pizza. Look, my aunt's in here. She said Baby Scott's favorite place in 1980s. You're probably right. Look, I'll admit it. It's the Rat Casino.
It is.
Who doesn't want to go to it? I
The
love
Ratsino,
Biloxi.
as some might call it.
Nolan Bushnell knew what he was doing when he
It's-
made Atari, and he
That's
definitely
under
knew what he
5
was doing.
Vegas. That's
Yes.
under 10 Vegas. That's what that is right there. No
Jerry.
lie.
What?
When my buddy got married, we had his bachelor party. We didn't go crazy, but we went to a Charles Entertainment Cheese
No.
and watched and sat on the floor, watched the floor show. Yes. We were kind. We were very, it was just a bunch of, we were just like, what if we went to Chuck E. Cheese? We were those guys and stuff.
That's
and then we went and
incredible.
hung out and did other things too. That was back
Yeah.
in my more Christian days. When you're a Christian and you don't do a ton of weird stuff, you're like, let's say, I don't know, go to Chuck E. Cheese, scare the parents.
Oh, and Troy's right here. I did do this for a handful of days in the Jarro Beach strip. God, that's great.
It does kind of like I'm staring at the man in the. It's a dude. The people who do the voice, like
Oh, it's incredible.
the Pasquale voice,
Pasquale.
doesn't fit the. Pasquale and the man, you would think that mustache would inhibit some of the sound, but
Yeah,
I
no,
mean it is just
doesn't.
man
No
can
way.
he get it? Man can he
can
get
get
it?
it.
But yes,
It's beautiful.
yes, we had to add one more to the as quote. I'm gonna quote here to the Bombad Bump and Grind playlist. That is it's gonna happen sometime. We're gonna find a way to rip these, and we'll hand it out like mixtapes at
Yeah.
Celebration or something.
And our buddy Popeye has something to say.
Had a little bit of money, so the Lord did me good. Got all kind of shit. Got the glow sticks. I got the gotcha bag. Got the Hawaiian punch. Man, everybody won't holler at pop what you need. I got it. If I ain't got it, I can find it. You understand? I'm selling glow sticks. Glow sticks that go with the
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Would you like to buy some glow sticks? You don't want to sell me glow sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life.
They go with the yes.
I go home rethinking my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Jerry,
a little bit
speaking
of
of
money
Star
did you
Wars.
good, said the Lord. Yeah, anyway.
Look. Speaking of Star Wars, the whole reason we had tonight's show, well, actually, we did have special guests, and unfortunately, they kind of didn't fall into the right place. But that's okay. I'm completely fine with it because we can carry this show. We have got it, Gerald.
We've been
The
carrying
Entertainment
these shows. Yes, how'd you know my middle name was Entertainment? Yes.
Entertainment.
Gerald Entertainment Cable. That's me. Listen, we've been carrying this show for how many years now? Like a couple years now, so it's fine. It's fine. Hey, look,
That's weird.
speaking of our guests and everything that we were going to have, I guess we can let the bag out on one of them. One of them was going to be the maker of this shirt that came in today.
That's true.
Omega and
That's
Friends.
true. That's a good shirt.
Yes. I
That's
love.
a
Oh
good
man,
shirt.
it's comfy too.
It is.
I just slapped it on before I just opened it up before I got on camera here. And
Oh,
stuff.
that's sick.
I got my kid. Ella is here and early. We're getting ready for school to start for her, which is Lord help me,
Yeah, but it's nerve-wracking. I get it.
one of those things. So,
I get it.
but anyway,
Jerry.
yep, yeah.
My question to
Did
you.
you say impossible?
Don't worry,
Pasquale.
Don't worry, Pasquale.
So I'm
about-
glad.
I choked on my entertainment there. Hold on. I just when he goes, just kidding, Chucky. You know,
Just
like I wish we had the line before that so we could know what was going on in that. But anyway,
agree.
go on. What do
Hey.
what's up with you?
I had a great time with you on Tuesday. I will say that. But also,
That was a
I gotta bring
blast.
this
We
up.
got what's up?
Oh, it was phenomenal. I wanted to bring this up real quick, Jerry. Everyone in this chat
Still
has
got
more than
entertainment cut in my
likely
throat.
has more than likely seen a Star Wars. Oh, this is great. I got people that I work with in here. This is fantastic.
Oh, dude. What's up,
Finally
guys?
see what I do. But no,
Finally
in all
get
seriousness-
yeah. Well, I'll try to rein it in, Scotty. I'll try to rein it in.
No, it's all good. I just wanted to say, I'm very excited to talk about this because I think it's important to bring up, right? How do you watch Star Wars? It sounds really silly, and it might not mean that much to you, but I think all of us have a unique way of watching it, and it all kind of comes down to the fact that it's how you take it in, but also what way do you prefer watching it? So we really don't have that many show notes for this evening, if any at all. But I want to start off with this, Jerry.
Okay.
We have learned something very interesting about ourselves in this pandemic world and with the Disney Plus world is that we can no longer watch Star Wars in theaters at this point. Okay. How has that been for you? Because it's been new. We've had a lot of new Star Wars that has not been in theaters. Probably more that hasn't been in theaters now than it was at one point. You see what I'm saying? Like we've had more new than we've had now, like even then.
No,
We've
you're
seen
absolutely
majority of
there's
all
been
of it.
like a fire hose worth of content
Yes.
and stuff. Like it's
Yes.
just like I mean, they just turned it on and it's just I think you're absolutely right. We're just and I mean, part of it is they were planning on doing this already, you know, and I think it's they'd kind of planned like, you know, Star Wars in the theater works best when you know, I think they were thinking the pandemic, I think, has set them back a little more. But
Sure.
when you they were going to take a couple years off, I think they had said, from films and everything, and do a ton of like. Obviously, they're not going to stop making content and everything right now. Not in the
of
world we
course.
live in and everything. We're getting a constant stream of Star Wars, which is incredible. But it's when I think about it, I think that it is a little strange because Star Wars was always something so special, so precious.
Sure.
And it still is. It still doesn't feel cheap to me.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it still feels like an event when we see something. I mean, you had the
Okay.
reveal of those Macquarie troops in Bad Batch,
Of
not to
course.
give too many, like, you know, I mean, if you haven't watched it by now and you're watching our show, I mean, Lord help you. You know, a
know what's
little bit
going
of
on,
money
yeah.
did you good, said the Lord, is what I heard from my good friend Popeye.
You heard me?
But you know, man, if I just take a moment and look at the man in the mirror, I've kind of been enjoying what we've been getting because it's been kind of nice. I'm a little sad that they're moving to Wednesdays, but it was kind of fun to get up and watch in the mornings and stuff, that like the new stuff, or when, you know, the times when I can, you know, whenever I wasn't working on a Friday, you know, staying up till midnight, you know, things like that, or staying up till, actually it would be like 2 in the morning, 2-3 in the morning for
Okay.
me. But
I get.
it still feels like an event, like when Star Wars puts something. Because I mean, what was the Bad Batch was the last thing we had. Before that, it was Mandalorian, right? Like season 2, and like the gallery and things like that, you know, that came out right after. But to me, it still feels like event viewing. It still feels like an
Good.
event when it comes
Well,
out.
the thing is too, and if you're not in the right community, that might be part of it. To be honest with you,
Your
like-
perspective is very much shaped by the
Sure.
company you keep. Absolutely.
and whenever an episode like this comes out, obviously, we all have to be sure to, you know, kind of talk about it as a group. I mean, we've got a bunch of group texts that we belong to alone, where we can reach out to people and talk to people about it, which is great. But the communal part of Star Wars, that at least with Star Wars, the communal part's a great.
Come in
great
here,
book.
Boop, with your
Great
sass.
book.
I'm just kidding. Come on in, girl. Come on in.
The communal part of Star Wars really comes down to the fact that there's conversations that need to be had after that happens. It could be good, bad conversations, as long as the conversations occur. So we've got a really weird change of pace where we have to have the conversations social media, not after the theater, right? And
Right.
some of the biggest moments in recent Star Wars history which the Grogu reveal, the Luke reveal, have all been from the comfort of our own homes, which is a weird thing. We did not get to have the shared theater experience that way, like we would have with, Tross or TLJ or The Force Awakens or Solo.
Right.
So we're here now having that experience, and then we can also share it instantly. Spoilers are a weird thing. But what did Michael say?
I'll bring it back up. So I brought it up. I didn't mean to put Michael's dissertation in front of our faces and stuff there. But no, I'm just kidding, Michael. I love you. Yeah. So it looks like here, I think it depends on the content for me. Okay, I won't do that. He says, I think it depends on the content. For me, the new Bad Batch episodes didn't feel like a big deal. Or for me, it didn't feel like a big deal to me. But he even fell behind a few episodes, but Mando felt like a much bigger event. So
okay,
I get that because a lot of people didn't. Bad Batch didn't really hit for them. For me, it really scratched. It wasn't. To me, it felt like an event when it first came out and towards the end, but it still was a Star Wars tentpole every week. It lasted us from May till just a couple weeks ago.
Exactly, and it felt so good. Like I don't know.
I loved the slow burn. And go back. I binged before our episode last week. Go back and binge it. Seriously, it is much. I think people who maybe were on it might find that a better experience to just watch back to back to back.
Sure, I completely agree. And I think the craziest thing about all this stuff coming out this way is that a lot of it actually comes down to the fact of how you view it. I mean, you can view it in the dark, you can view it casually, you can view it on your phone, you can actually, have your own little home theater set up with your surround sound. You can have a good sound bar.
Steve here has a private screening room in his office on the Star.
Oh,
in quotes. I think he's trying to I think he's trying to play around with Death Star there, actually. Make it sound a little more,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Deathy, maybe. It's okay.
So, Jerry, if you don't mind for 1 second, I'm actually going to leave the stream because my connection looks poor. I could see that on here. Does it look bad?
That's okay. It looks like I think you're trying to come through. I don't know, like... It's like you're trying to come through before Starlight Beacon was put out in the outer rim or something.
Okay, look, I'll be right back.
You'll be back
in just a second, just a moment.
You know what? Let's get another slow jam going while we wait on you. Ladies and gentlemen, direct from heaven, Ish, Godfather of Pizza.
Imagine there's no pizza. I couldn't if I tried. Eating only tacos or Kentucky Fried.
Imagine only burgers. It's miserable and sad. There you go, the dulcet tones of the late Herman Cain.
How do I look now, Gerald? Do I look better?
You look better. You look much better. I can see Boba's crotch much better in the background.
Did you look at that?
More importantly, I can see Carrie's face and stuff. I mean, so when you move your head, I can see Carrie's face. When you're in the shot, I can only see Boba's crotch. It's fine. It's
there's
whatever.
Obi.
Oh, Obi! Look at that.
It's right
Look
there.
At that little guy. We gained 20. We had 20 viewers there consecutively for Herman Cain, but I think they left because we got rid. Hey. That Bombad bump and grind, man, it's strong. It's strong.
It's strong. It is a strong game. So, Jerry, I kind of want to talk about your setup because we all have different setups. I know you have a setup in your bedroom, and you also have a setup in your living room. So what do you primarily watch Star Wars on? New Star Wars? Is there a method to how you watch it in particular?
Well, I really only have I don't watch much in the bedroom anymore. Honestly, right now in the summertime, because there's not an air conditioning unit in this room because it's Michigan. Go figure. The North, whatever. I don't watch or do anything in this room except for stream and things like that. It's basically my studio. But I have a hand-me-down Bose home theater system, 2 speakers, and a subwoofer, and it's very nice. It's one of the best. It's like the best sound bar I've ever had. But again, it's 2 speakers, one on each side, so you can still get that like balanced effect,
actual
that stereo.
Yeah.
You know what the first thing I watched? One of the first things I watched when I got that thing set up the first time I got it?
Pod racing.
No, my friend. I went to Force Awakens and watched the scene where Rey is taking her stuff to Nema Outpost at first.
Oh.
Because there's a moment, this is the brilliance of Star Wars sound design, is something I always thought was cool. In the theater, when that big Abednego guy with the load lifter arms, that robot arms comes by, you hear the like deep. You could feel it in your chest in the theater.
Oh,
and it's like you can hear that if you get the sub up, halfway or something. You can hear it clearly. It's a good sound system. I've got a nice, I think it's a 70-inch Vizio, and I enjoy it.
Nice.
I have a 4K system, but right now I don't watch many 4K. I've got the modern disease where it's too much work to put a disc in, if I'm going to watch something. But I mean, also a lot of what I'm watching is either prepping for talking about it online or, know, things. I was talking to someone about that today, how there's a lot of, I don't want to watch just Star Wars sometimes, but, sometimes, but, with Bad Batch, we've been doing a lot of, there's been a lot of good streaming content out there. And with all the movies on Disney Plus, it's really easy to just throw those suckers on.
Sure, of course. That's part of the conversation I want to have with you too.
Well, I will say, if I were to sit down and watch them with somebody who hadn't seen them or something, or if I was doing a screening, I'd probably do the 4K.
Nice. Because
I've got the 4K set, which is...
You do the disc, you do.
It's amazing. I have the 4K discs of the 9 Saga films and Solos on 4K, and I got Rogue One recently on 4K too. So,
smart.
Well, and I know some people say they can't tell the difference. It is the highest quality you can get, not at a fantastic theater.
Yes.
Like if you go to right now, the best picture you can get is if you go to a nice theater with, digital projectors that are basically give you the best picture if you're going to a theater where they care about it and they take care of the thing.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm a snob and I like that 4K. Yeah. I like that 4K. It really, it doesn't have the soap opera effect that some Blu-ray had back in the day. But it still feels it feels more genuine, like a film, but it's crystal clear.
So you're
and you can
enough,
see textures and stuff like that.
You're smart enough to change the settings of the TV too, because it's not going to be motion blurred. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to do it's been trial and error. I've had less. Yeah. I've had more trouble with honestly Samsung TVs.
Oh, they're doing bad about it. Oh, well, look,
the motion blur is pretty bad.
So, when it comes to it, I don't know.
This just became an electronics hour, guys.
And it will for a second here. But a lot of people, and I know people personally in this chat probably who don't realize. But
I'm sorry, I just saw this. I just saw this comment. That is fantastic. And yes, you're right. Now go.
So,
to make sure I didn't wake up my kid,
tend to have. A setting on their TV called motion blurring. And if you do, you should definitely get rid of that, okay? Because what that does is it takes things, it's designed for sports, for the...
Bridger Hibbert, sorry, real quick. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Yeah, welcome, by the way. Welcome. You're welcome anytime. Bring friends. Tell friends.
So, people have it on because it looks good when you watch sports, because it's a smooth picture. It's 60 frames per second, or it even can do 30 or 45, just depends on what it is. But the problem comes down to the fact that if you're watching a movie, it looks like a nightmare. Everything moves really weird. It's not meant to be viewed that way.
Which is I get. There's been a lot of So people are kind of freaking out. Like Denis Villeneuve Villeneuve. Sorry, Villeneuve. And just all these filmmakers. I understand wanting to see, like, I understand both sides of the argument. I think they are being a little, like, most people who are reviewing these films have a good setup and everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't even know where I was going with that. But
I can tell you.
Well, you're right. The like, sports and live stuff looks incredible in that, like, soap opera mode stuff, because it's supposed to look like that. But then you go in to watch a movie and stuff, and it
weird.
And you take it off of that, you've got a little. At least I've had a lot of motion blur on Samsung and things like that, different things like that. I think it just depends on your, you know, maybe I wasn't getting the settings just right or something.
Sure.
Maybe it was something even deeper, you know, that there are some settings in there that I don't even want to touch.
Of course,
because I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up.
There's like an auto contrast too, an auto brightness, everything that if you have those things on, it'll change how the picture should really look. It should change how the pictures actually look on the screen, you know, and how they would actually, you know, I guess transfer to the screen. And one big thing that comes with that is, you know, there's people like Rian Johnson. I believe there's other filmmakers out there, Christopher Nolan. They're all like writing a whole idea, a whole petition to like have all TVs come programmed to play movies properly. Because I can tell you so many times I'll go,
that would be so smart.
Oh yeah, have a setting you click and it like programs it exactly how it should be to watch.
People like my parents don't care.
No,
they'll watch. They'll throw the VHS on if they have it. My parents still. In fact, my parents' setup at their house is still god awful. I love them. I love you guys if you're watching. But anyway. But just to have that already in there so that you see it at the best possible quality, whether you want to or not.
It's the filmmaker's artistic intention, and we all know this argument. You know, back in the day, you would have 16:9, obviously, to watch your shows, but also you had the choice of watching it in 4:3. And filmmakers used to have to shoot in a certain aspect ratio to make sure their shots would look good on TV too, when they were, of course, made for TV movies. Now everyone, thankfully, as you can see StreamYard right here, everyone has it in 16:9, right? And everyone watching this,
they would still sell the widescreen and stuff, and people thought. I remember when I was a kid thinking, I don't want those black bars. You know, when you're before you know. Oh, I'm not getting the entire picture.
No.
Like back in the day, kids. Yeah. TV used to be like a rounded, cornered square.
It was crazy.
You were missing like
huge chunks
almost 40% of a picture.
Exactly.
I mean, it's insane.
Exactly.
It is insane.
So like we all grew up with that, and now I feel so lucky that like even all the videos on my phone are in a regular, you know, aspect ratio, which is something I think we take for granted. And you know, to talk about your setup, Jerry, do you like the way Bose's sound? Because Eric will write home about Bose all day, every day. You might even have a similar setup to Eric. I don't know.
I mean, I don't like. Again, it's a hand-me-down set that I got.
It's still quality stuff, man.
It still works great. I mean, Bose. Sure. I think this system probably has to be at the least 10 years old.
Wow.
And I mean, I would think, because it came from actually my ex's grandparents, who were very like, he used to work for Ford. He was like an executive at Ford. And so they would they would update their television. Like they updated it a couple of times while I was there. They update, like he knew how to get like he would update their cars and stuff, because he knew how to work all that kind of business and everything, because he used to work for car companies and all that.
Yeah.
But they would have electric cars. They had the thing in their garage and everything. So, he called me one day and goes, "Hey, I'm getting rid of this Bose system. Would you want it?" And I was like, after work, I was like, "Yes, I'll be there right away" and stuff. And luckily, I was able to hold on to it through all of this. And so, So I would write home about it 100%. It is.
That's great.
I mean, if you can spend the money on something, I mean, just do your research. Yeah. There are good sound bars that you don't have to get a Bose. You don't have to get things like that. But sometimes I actually have Bose noise canceling headphones now.
Yeah.
That I got before I while I was at my other job and everything, and those are like the best headphones. I brought them down, I think, while I was
you did.
flying down to see you. Some of the best headphones I've ever had.
See, Bose makes really good, and they have their own crispness to it. Bose is a very particular sound that you really can't get anywhere else. I like it. It's got a very like full sound, The highs
Yeah.
sound really good. The mids sound really good. The bass, I don't know on your sound system.
It's not
but on
too
headphones-
sharp. It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't hurt your ears, but it
Very
also
balanced.
like you feel. Yeah, yeah. It's a very balanced sound. It comes like that. You know, you don't have to do a lot. You just plug it in and let it go. And I mean,
Sure.
you can play with like it. My subwoofer has a volume knob on the back. I can turn the bass up and down. If I turn it up, you know, I'm gonna shake my apartment
feel it.
building
You can
to
feel it.
pieces.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna get knocks on my door like a broom handle to my floor. You know, from the person underneath me.
Sure. See, the difference is too, and I think people need to kind of wrap their brain around this, because I'm not saying I'm a sound expert, but when it comes to like understanding how a
Neither
lot
of us are.
well,
But we know what sounds good.
Sure. And I have 3 setups. I've got this one over here. This is in my office, obviously. I've got, and I can make it a little bit bigger so you can all see it. I've got, and you can probably see the speakers. I got 5.1 in here, and I love 5.1. This speaker, Jerry, same as yours. This surround sound setup is 10 years old. My dad got it after he left my mom, and he got it for his apartment. And, you know, of course, through the years, it just ended up in my possession. And I didn't really know how 5.1 worked up until about 5 years ago, and I finally hooked it up. I figured out how the hookups work, and I'm not gonna lie, this setup is phenomenal. Is it the best? No, it's a 10-year-old setup, but technology in terms of sound has not advanced all that much. The coolest thing, though, if you're looking to get a sound system and not spend that much money, is just getting a sound bar. I gotta say, you've heard mine, Jerry. We watched some Star Wars on it when we were here.
Just like a Sony soundbar. Yeah, like just do your
flat.
research.
Yeah,
get a good brand that goes, but is pretty compatible with your TV. I think that plate comes into play too, doesn't it? A little bit, like if it, you know. But Sony's a good brand just for a lot for whatever.
And you know what? The hookups are important, because never. The
optical
best
cable. Optical cable.
Yep, optical cable is how you get, for me, one of the best sounds.
That's
HDMI
the difference.
HDMI out is brutal, and of course, aux out is
Best
terrible.
Buy. Call us. We can let's get this sponsorship going.
And,
we'll send people your way.
And
my Best Buy knows me by name. My Best Buy knows
do.
me by name when I go there. I have a guy I go like, "Hey man, how you doing?" You know, like when he brings stuff to the car for me. I'm like,
Sure.
"Hey, good, I'm doing good, man. How you doing?" You know
That's
who I am.
awesome.
You
know. The one thing I also advise too right now, for anyone, Eric Cotterman actually jumped on this. My boy E, he actually jumped on this one at Costco. They have the Vizio soundbar 5.1 system. Now that sounds weird, but it comes with a wireless sub, and it comes with the actual like rear left and right outputs like these, and it comes with the wireless soundbar, so that you're not hooked up across your house. You've got the soundbar on the front, and you got the wireless subs and the wireless surround sound behind you.
That's the best thing about the new stuff. Yeah,
dude, that is so efficient. If I had started out with surround sounds like back in the day when I was real young, I would have loved to have had that. Like in high school, or even I would have bought that for Christmas. Even in college, that would have been freaking awesome in a dorm, or in your first apartment. So surround sound to me, of course, when it comes to Star Wars, is how I prefer watching it. It's got to be in surround sound. Or it can be in 2.1, which is, like my soundbar set up in my bedroom. But I can tell you this much. I watched all of Bad Batch in 5.1, and I actually preferred my viewing of Bad Batch than my viewings of The Mandalorian, because my Mandalorian is in 2.1. I would have loved to have experienced it in a fully surround sound room. So,
oh man, that would be fantastic.
We're going to get there.
The way I've got set up right now is like I have the speakers of my TV turned off. It all comes through the Bose.
Yes, same.
So
same.
That's my setup. It all comes through the Bose. So everything I watch is coming through.
Sure.
Usually pretty loud because I have that loud wall unit. In the living room and everything. It's hot. It's the summertime.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
But I think that's the step people are missing when it comes to their at-home theater sound setup, because they think TV is the most important thing, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not. It's not. It's essential. The size is nice, but I'm telling you, that surround sound system or a nice sound system is what is it for Star Wars in particular. That is the way to go to me.
See, I think I might go picture.
Okay.
For me, but I love that I have the sound. I mean, the sound is the next thing, but the thing I want to get right first is picture.
Picture. Wow,
I want to get my picture because for me, I'm very visual.
Sure.
And we don't know when I got these Coke bottle frames. I don't know when this eyesight's gonna go.
Gotta go.
I gotta get it in while I can.
Sure.
No, I'm joking, but it's. I love the better picture gets, the more high quality, the more crisp it gets. The better, man. Like ever since we moved from VHS to DVD.
Oh, it's insane.
I asked for a DVD player the next Christmas because I've been such a movie head since I was a kid,
Yeah.
I asked for a DVD player with surround sound for one Christmas. And my dad installed them on the walls. They have a weird big open room, so it wasn't all balanced. But it was still very cool because you still I was watching, that's when Lord of the Rings was coming out.
Oh,
right?
Sick.
And so that was the first things I was putting. I think the first one had just come out because it was,
early DVDs.
Yeah, well, it was 2001. So I would throw Fellowship of the Ring on and just watch the hell out of that thing, man. Just let it wash over me. But the higher I can always tell a difference in the quality. There's been less of a difference between, I think, Blu-ray and 4K.
Yeah.
But there is still a noticeable difference. There is a noticeable difference. It's less of a DVD to Blu-ray was such a jump.
Insane jump. People don't realize that.
4K is the next step up, but it is just a refinement. It seriously was just a refinement
it makes it more
of everything.
crisp. And
it takes it from that soap opera effect. You get a 4K TV, it doesn't do the soap opera effect. It's clear and it looks like it's supposed to look.
Yeah, so. I get that. And one thing I will say too about sound, because 4K has made its jump. Most people, which is great, you can afford a 4K TV now. About 5 years ago, you really couldn't. It was beyond expensive. But now you really can afford a 4K TV because you can buy them now for about $300, no problem. Big size, you're good.
If you go on a good sale to Best Buy.
I love that.
Look at those Black Friday sales, man. Don't go into the store and harass somebody like that. Order online or something.
My thing too is I think sound's gonna make that jump soon because now they mix it in Dolby Atmos, and I don't know if everyone in here knows what that means. I'll explain it. So how it usually works is you've got 5 channels. So you got center, left, right, rear, left, rear, right. And then, of course, sub. That's 5.1, okay? You got 2.1, which is left, right, and a sub. You got 3.1, which is left, right, center, and a sub. So this sounds like I'm repeating myself, but this is where it gets interesting. Now they have something called 5.1.2, okay? 0.2 is what Dolby Atmos is. It's the speakers that go on top of your speakers and project sound upwards. So I'll show you what it would be like. So I can show you real quick. You'll see me in my shorts.
Okay.
So picture these being the front left and front right. And I'm sitting here listening to it, okay? So how it works is you've got 5.1.
Oh, he's like, what's going on?
I know. He's like, who's he talking to? 5.1 is going to be the actual setup, but they add 2 new speakers to these, and it projects the sound upward. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
The coolest thing about it is that they mix it that way. So if you ever see a show that has a helicopter in it or rain,
it sounds like it's coming from above
kidding.
You. That's awesome.
Woo, it's terrifying.
And that's the Dolby Atmos.
That's Dolby. Well, it's 5.
Or like that because it.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen. I want to go to a Dolby Atmos theater, AMC.
We have one in Baton Rouge. I wish you would. I did not know you've never been to one.
I've never been to the one that has the highest one.
Yes.
There's one in Chicago. Still haven't gotten to go because I'm never close. I'm never close to it.
For at least,
I want to.
Every big movie, every big Marvel movie. I'm let Obi out.
Maybe if one of our friends who lives around Chicago, like if Rick or Claire want to take me to a movie or something, take me to a movie, guys. Let's all go to a movie, okay?
Dude, I don't blame you. I saw all of the Star Wars except The Force Awakens in a Dolby Atmos theater, and it's phenomenal.
I want to see something so bad. Probably one of the new Marvel movies right now, honestly.
42 speakers. I don't even know how you mix that. You got speakers in the projection, and you got speakers all the way around you, and then you got subs in your own seat. It is such an experience. I love it. But the one in Metairie, amazing, my boy. Shout out to Metairie. Okay, so I want to ask the
See,
chat this real
subtitles for me with my ADHD.
Me too, Jerry.
I focus on just the subtitles,
So
and then
bad.
I feel like I'm missing what's going on.
The only thing I
screen.
do well is if I'm watching a foreign language film, I can do subtitles and watch.
Oh, I could do that. I love subtitled films, man. Like those, dude. The Orphanage
Parasite.
by Guillermo del Toro. Pan's Labyrinth, also by Guillermo del Toro. Both fantastic films. I was able to keep, but it's just something about like
having to.
I don't know.
I know
other things.
I
I would rather not if I don't have to, but
sure. It makes it difficult. Like Parasite was a great movie, but it took me about 5 minutes to like blend the subtitles in the actual film. But I got used to it. It wasn't one of those like I can't believe I had to read subtitles like some people.
That makes me so mad. It's like
I know.
Don't watch it. It's
Just
fine.
enjoy it. Yeah.
You don't know how to read? Like, come on, man. Like, what are you talking about?
You made it this far. So Jerry, I wanted to ask you about this. Being as you grew up, and you have probably more of a recollection than I do, seeing like the special editions in theaters and seeing, the prequels in theaters, I'd imagine that was a pretty amazing experience. I mean, I remember seeing the pod race scene too, but you have a lot stronger memory. Is there anything from those viewings? Because we didn't, obviously we weren't seeing movies on film. We technically have, but by the time you got to Revenge of the Sith, it was digital. All of it was digital. So what was that like? Because I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember the specific experience because I've seen the film so many times. I remember going to watch every special edition movie in theaters.
Oh,
I remember coming out specifically, I think, of Empire Strikes Back. And I think because as a kid, I think I was like, I was disappointed because they didn't add more to that one, which I know everyone hates my opinions on that stuff because I love the special editions.
The untouchable one.
The definitive editions, as I like to call them. And they've added more since then. But
I can't hear without subtitles. Andrew might be having a stroke, Katie.
Well, but I don't know. Just ask if he can smell burning toast for one thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's fine. No, but I remember more the atmosphere around them for the special editions.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like the movies came out a couple of times on. Like you had the Faces editions, which I've got both of those up there. I got the Faces and special edition box sets right over here.
So cool.
My VHSs, and I mean it's. It was just a special time. I remember more watching them at home and everything.
Sure.
But I remember it was cool to actually get to see the originals in a theater.
Yeah.
But with the Phantom Menace and stuff, man, I mean, the pod race, the man, even the lightsaber duel, the Duel of the Fates was my favorite part, I think, when I was a kid. But you go see these things, and back in the 90s and everything, your parents were like, "We'll go see it once, and then we'll get it when it comes out on VHS, or something." But it was just a really special time, and like as a kid with VHS, I had what I had. I was watching them on. I had a TV in my room that had like a VHS built in, right? One of those old box TVs with a VHS built in.
I had that too in my bedroom.
I even had like the little tape, the little dial that you could like slowly go through frame by frame.
That's awesome.
I had one of those, and so I could cycle through my VHSs like frame by frame.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, it was pretty fun, but it's the perfect thing for a burgeoning teenage boy to have.
Yeah. It was 4x3. That's the worst part, is you don't get the full picture, But I bet when you saw it in theaters, you got the full 16:9 shot. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah, and again, like you don't think about I never thought about that until DVD came out, and I was like, oh, what? No, widescreen is the way to go.
Yes,
it is the way to go because you can see everything. Like I got it. It's like so cool. When that finally clicked in for me as a kid, then I was like explaining it to my parents. I was explaining it to everyone I could possibly. I'm like, no, you don't understand.
No more letterbox.
You're not getting the whole picture. You're not getting. It's not bars covering. It is literally. It's the whole picture. It just has to fit on the stupid square screen. So I'm so glad that TVs finally went widescreen and stuff like that.
I completely agree.
So,
well, funny you say that. I was thinking about when you said it. The only time like before I actually grew up, I saw like I was like 15 or 16 when it came out. But I saw and I loved film, but I wasn't like an
I know.
observer
I'm a
of film,
unicorn. I'm a unicorn
know?
in this department. Sorry.
I wasn't an observer of film, but when I saw special editions. When I saw the
Sorry.
Phantom Menace in 3D, that was one of those experiences
Bro.
where I'm like, I now understand why this scene's so big and so huge. And it took a modern theater to get me there. But we're so lucky to now have like at home setups that are really nice. We're so lucky to have, everything so different now. I mean, Disney Plus has got everything in 4K.
Yeah.
We've got really good mixing, really good balance sound. The picture looks great. But back in the day, I don't think people realize, anyone that's watching this, you used to watch it on a film projection, okay, which, duh. But sometimes those projections would be scratchy, and they'd look terrible. The sound would, sync would be off. The
longer you play those films, it starts to deteriorate, because I worked at a theater during a transition from film to digital. Like literally, I saw that transition in that theater and stuff.
Sick.
And I've told stories I think on here before about like whenever we would play like the cartoon that came out around Christmas for like factory Christmas parties. We would have a few factory Christmas parties, and 8 theaters packed full of factory workers and their families. The same roll of film going through each projector. You just like attached an extra long thing, and like it was on rolls going. You had to like watch where you stepped and duck, like watch your head and everything. And I was one of the only ushers that they would trust to go up there, because like they had, I wasn't there one time. They had like some poor kid helping him, and he like took one out with his head or something.
Yes.
And it was chaos, pandemonium, and stuff.
Sure.
But like that, you think of doing that, having one single film, which is again, it's multiple cans, multiple reels all put together. These things are huge. They're bigger around. It takes 2 people to carry those. It took 2 people to carry those things, guys.
So crazy.
For like even
nowadays,
the shortest film. In the shortest film, you had to have 2 people, one on each side. Like, oh, watch out, and we had to bend it to get around corners, and stuff.
So
like,
crazy.
You had to, like, I was the one who, like, I became friends with the projectionists, of course, but that's what you had to, like. You had to be careful, and if you weren't a careful person, like, you could scratch that stuff up. You could,
I couldn't imagine.
And like you said, it affects. But now with digital, it's the same every time.
You know who we thank for that? We thank George Lucas, James Cameron. We thank that whole crew.
James Tiberius Kirk.
If that's
not one.
No, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have had such an amazing setup.
No lie, the dude's name was Kyle.
No
lies, Steve. You do have the Force. Holy shit!
Oh wait, Katie said something I really appreciate. I don't think kids will ever understand this, but like
you had to take it to the store for them to fix it,
or a video game, because that's like look at this. This is from
or buy the kit.
I was in 3rd grade. Look at the scratches on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would like literally. There's one demo in this game that literally won't load because there's so many scratches in this game. It's just such a sensitive thing.
I mean, you've got to take care of your physical media. The way some people store their physical media makes me sick, or makes me nervous. I'm not going to judge anyone, but that's why a lot of people now choose to just do the digital stuff. Which good luck when the solar flare comes through. That's all I got to say.
I agree, though, right? We live in a time where this is kind of one of the big conversations I wanted to have with you, because I and Nick and I have chatted about this. We actually were in our group chat. Me, Nick, Pete, and Jerry have a group chat. We text in literally all day, every day. It's nonstop. And the idea of this episode came from that, and I kind of want to get to the heart of it. But we were talking about how do we watch Star Wars, and in particular, how do we treat it when we watch it? Because I think it's necessary to talk about, because we're all Star Wars fans, and I'm not talking movies you've seen, but I'm talking that, but I'm also talking the fact that we get new stuff so often. How do you treat that? So Jerry, when we get something like The Gallery with Mark Hamill, how did you treat that? Was that an event that you woke up for and you were like, okay, got my coffee next to me, I'm gonna sit there and really take all this in, or were you like getting dressed and you were watching it on your phone? Like what was it?
I always watch all of the new, like What If, Mandalorian Gallery, Bad Batch, I watch it all on the TV.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't. If I do the phone, I can. That's you get notifications, you get things like that.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Not sacred.
It's. I mean, mostly like if it's something I want to pay attention to, if it's something I'm watching, I want to watch it on there. If I'm like, if I'm on a plane, if I'm like, I barely get to watch anything anymore because I'm always the one driving. If I'm on a road trip, or something. But like if you're like traveling or something, or if I'm like in a place where I'm like, I kind of want to watch this or whatever, then maybe I'll watch something on my phone. Yeah. But I'm a snob when it comes to that.
Too.
I have to put on there and I won't say that I like, lit any candles or anything, and did this before I watched the gallery. But I think I did get a cup. I barely want to. My living room, dining room, and kitchen right now in my apartment, it's basically one room.
Sure.
Even at the sink, I have like a window where I can look through and see the TV.
Yeah.
But if I am wanting to watch something for the first time, I will make sure like I make my coffee first, like you say. I will.
Same.
If it's in the morning, I'll make my coffee first. Because I don't want to. Again, and I have ADHD. I'm very open about that. And it's not just like I can't pay attention. I could pay attention when I'm into it, right?
Sure.
Or it's basically like I can force myself to pay attention, but I have to get all the other stuff done and then go, okay, now we're gonna watch this. And so that's why whenever I'm wanting to take something in, I will do that. That's why I can't just throw a Star Wars on. Usually, I can. Like Phantom Menace, I've thrown on a lot.
I've seen you do it before we do a show because I think you're getting your brain ready for it. But I can't even do that. I just have a hard time doing that.
I have to if I have it on and turned down, it's fine. It's whatever. It plays on.
Yeah.
But it's something you have to. I like you. I have to sit down and watch this and focus on it and put my phone down. Like there's some things I'll watch and I'm like maybe I'll scroll on my phone doing this, but it's not a lot of things. If it's something that I'm interested in, I have to put my phone down and watch what's
completely
going on.
Focus. And I'm the same exact way. Like when it comes to Star Wars in particular, and anything Marvel like Loki and Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision, no phones near me. It's got to be turned over, and it's going to be me in a dark room, and I got to make sure my sound's up. Everything sounds good. I can do it. I can do it at 5 a.m. I can do it in the evening. Usually when it comes to Marvel stuff, I usually watch that in the evening, but as of recently, with Loki being so good, I watched that in the morning. And the gallery, sacred. I mean, I had literally, Eric had watched it at 2 a.m. Eric watched it at 2 a.m. when it came out, and then he came back over at 4:30 on Wednesday morning to watch with me. And that's,
what a saint.
Honestly, that's how I'm going to do Kenobi and everything else from here on out. But it's not easy. But honestly, to have that experience is worth it because you don't go through the whole day stressing about looking through your social media, worried about someone sending you
which might accidentally happen. Like you don't have to and people don't wait anymore. They don't wait.
Yeah.
So I was just throwing that up. I thought that was an interesting. William here. Yeah, I tend to pay more attention at home. See, I actually think I pay more attention at the theater because I want to have my phone down and turned way down, like turn the light turned down. I don't ever turn my phone off just because I have a kid. There's things like that. I don't want to be out of contact from anybody, but I'm not going to answer my phone in a movie theater. I'm not going to do anything like that.
I'm the same way.
I feel like I pay more attention in the theater because it's more of an experience. And
and I want to ask you this, Jerry.
Yeah.
When it comes to watching a new movie that's not Star Wars, I don't know how often you do that, but let's say I'm watching. I'm trying to think of the newest movie I watched. It's been a while, but besides in the theater, but at home, I mean, you've got all the distractions of the world. You've got literally the animals. You've got the everything in front of you.
I mean, you can get up and walk around. You can pause it and go take a piss. Which is great, but it's
There's something about having to focus the entire time.
There's something to me about it. It is almost like I might get in trouble for saying this, but it feels like a church-like atmosphere to me.
But
when I go to a cinema, if you have your favorite cinema, I understand that not everyone has that luxury where they can, especially these days with COVID and everything. That's the big thing with all these filmmakers saying, "Oh, my thing's only in theaters and not."
Yeah.
not sending out screeners to people because you've got immunocompromised people who can't go to a theater right now.
Yes.
Like, I think they should be able to have the choice.
Sure.
But besides all of that conversation and everything, I realize that not everyone can. A lot of people are like get annoyed, if you're going and watching a movie and there's like a kid in there that's talking through it, which I'm a parent, so to me I'm kind of like whatever.
I had a
to me
problem with
the
that
communal
recently.
experience, as long as it's not a kid in like a movie that's like they're not supposed to be in,
Dude, I was at Black Widow and someone had like a maybe a 2-month-old and it was just screaming the whole time, and I asked for a refund because I was like, I can't. Like I literally on the same row as them. Like I truly cannot focus. The kids like wah, and I'm like,
and
it is
even that. I feel for the parents if it's like sometimes people can't find. You can't find a babysitter. You can't find that. But most of the time it's like you kind of got to suck it up and just do whatever for your kid and stuff like that. You got to suck it up and not go to the movie that week or something.
You're right, and I
agree.
That should be the ultimate decision, but at the same exact time, I get scenarios are always different.
Now, if it's an animated or PG and down movie, I don't care. In fact, that's part of the experience.
Yes,
I love it because I take my 4-year-old and you've got other kids talking like, "Ooh, what's going on?" Oh, it's kind of funny sometimes too. It adds to it.
Well, it's funny. I wouldn't.
In fact, I just took Ella to watch Boss Baby. The last weekend I had her, Boss Baby 2, and there was a kid crying her eyes out because, spoiler alert, Boss Baby isn't a baby at the beginning of that movie. It's about a different baby, and he takes a formula to become a baby again. They're all grown up, and she was like, "That's not Boss Baby."
That's amazing. Kids are great.
And I was kind of losing because I thought it was funny.
Sure. So wait, that's interesting though, because you expect that from a viewing like that,
Right.
But I went and saw Free Guy.
The community experience. Now there are rude people and everything. Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead. What
problem.
were you saying?
No, Katie and I went and saw Free Guy, and we were in the Dolby Theater, and like that's not.
I still have to see Free Guy.
That is
I
not
want to. I just haven't had a chance.
Love it. It's not a cheap ticket.
I'm a Ryan Reynolds stan.
It's about $16 a head to go to a Dolby Theater. So like. You're not only paying like some good money, but like to take you on a date on there, that's like $40 by the end of it. Plus the food, you're spending $80. So while I'm saying that is, I'm sitting there and I had these 2 grown adults, like literally the row above me, 2 seats over, just steady talking the whole time. And I'm not this guy, but I literally reclined the seat up in the middle of me, stood up, looked around and went, shh. And then I sat back down because I'm like, you can't. There's no point in this. There's why go.
Was
to
it like
theater?
at a low? Yeah, I don't know. It's not a. And you wouldn't even act like that in a library. Honestly,
no one should do that.
But
it's not. Maybe it's not sacred to you, but the people around you might treat this as something.
It's
that
not.
They want to have
A lot of people are like,
it's
just a movie and whatever. But people go there for an experience. You are dropping a lot of cash usually when you go do that.
$80 that day.
Take the sacredness out of it, if it's like a matinee or something even, but maybe if it was like someone like, I will let go, like if someone's like, hey, what did he say or something,
That is a bug.
Whatever.
Straight up like, oh, Ryan Reynolds is just the cutest actor. Look how handsome he is. Oh, I don't really understand what's going on right now, Stacy. Yeah, I'm kind of confused too. Is this real life or is this the video game? Like I was like, oh my God, like you can't do this. Like this is not appropriate.
Yeah, no, that's
theater. It's just like literally, Jerry, like not like whisper, like I just don't really understand what's going on. Is this real? Who's this girl? I thought this girl was the other girl in the video because I was like, I literally stood up. I was like,
so I would suggest matinees on Saturdays.
Well, that's what it was, a 1:30 movie.
Oh, really?
I was like,
okay.
Yeah, it wasn't even an evening movie.
Well, see, sometimes because that's where we had a lot of trouble at the theater I worked at for like 8 years, where on Friday nights the parents would drop their kids off.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
At the theater.
Oh,
it's instant babysitter,
Yes.
And I mean, it's like my parents did that for me when I was a kid. Like they dropped us off at the movies, to go watch a movie, but me and my friends weren't, pardon me, assholes.
No,
and
you
stuff,
weren't. No.
There's a lot of kids that go there to cause trouble, things that they're trying to impress their friends, but you go in there like, I can't tell you how many kids I had to shut up.
Oh, yeah.
And walk up to them and go, you need to be quiet or I'm going to have to make you leave.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing as an usher and everything,
It's a different, and also nowadays with these wonderful things, as much as I love these things in a theater, when the dude in front of you, like the row down, has got his brightness literally all the way up. I'm like,
There will
there's
be
a
people
setting.
like literally will sit in their seat and go, "Hey, I can't talk right now." I mean, it's like get up, walk out of the theater, answer that thing,
Don't inconvenience
and then go back in.
yourself.
If you feel like you can, if it's that important that you have to answer it, walk outside.
Exactly.
If not,
Exactly.
just
Yep.
go to voicemail, straight to voicemail.
I have do not disturb on whenever I watch a movie in a theater because I don't want anyone disturbing me. I click that setting
Yeah.
on, no one's texting me.
Or
If they
and
are,
turn
I'll
for the
check it.
love of everything good and decent. You don't have to turn your phone off. For me, just turn the
No.
brightness down and face it
Yes.
towards the floor.
Yes. Or if you do check your messages, make sure you got it like under your shirt or you check it real quick. Okay, nothing. We're good. Let's keep this movie going. Don't
Yeah.
be that one guy that's like,
In a dark movie theater, you can with the brightness all the way down, you can totally see.
yes, you could, yes.
You can see. You don't have to like have the brightness up. You can see
No.
it with the brightness all the way down. It's fine. Whatever.
There have been viewings where
We're
know,
very
like,
grouchy. We're very
No, no,
grouchy
no,
about
no.
this.
The thing is
This whole episode has just been about our. It's just been about like I really prefer high end electronics, and if you fucking talk in my movie, I will nail you to the wall. I will
Oh
nail
my
you
God.
to the. I will nail you to the curtain covered walls.
Yes.
Um,
oh God, it's great. And you know, funny enough, now that you said it too, exactly.
That's exactly what we were saying.
literal
Exactly what we
words.
were saying. All you do is click, go to voicemail. Or if you have to, again, like Scotty said, put it down here where it's not disturbing everybody. Brightness all the way
No.
down, and just a quick, I'm in a movie. I'll call you back.
Yes. God,
Right?
it's brutal. But I think it's okay to have these feelings because it's something we all share.
It's like this, but not. I mean, it's just like I know
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
is.
young people who are like, just like I don't want to go watch a movie. Movie fans, no matter the age, if you
Well,
are
look.
going to be talking and doing stuff in a movie, like, why are you even here?
This right here, I actually love this. Katie said, I tend to be super nervous in movie theaters, but I do miss the experience, which now I get because within the past 10 years, I would say theaters have become unfortunately in America, a somewhat unsafe space. because
Well,
of all
I'll
the
tell you.
shootings.
You notice we don't do. Okay, so you remember what? That I think the final nail in the coffin. That I'm sorry, poor choice of words. For
No.
midnight shows, was that Dark Knight Rises screening.
Yep.
The screening. The guy shut up.
Mhm.
I will tell you, me and my at the time wife went to watch that movie at the midnight screening at our theater. So, and I mean,
Wow.
millions of people did.
Yeah.
But it's a weird thing where we heard about the next day that there was a shooting, and so she was
At
afraid
that
to
one.
go to any
Sure.
screenings after that were midnight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we had security in our theater and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's nerve-wracking, right? I watched Tenet.
You
which-
don't want to take away people's freedom, but at the same time,
No.
you got to make sure that people feel safe and stuff.
Yes.
So you don't want anyone intimidating, but you also want to make sure that no one's going to be trying anything. That
Yeah.
there are ways to escape, there are things to do, and
Yeah.
that is an unfortunate
Reality.
thing of
It is.
of life in America.
Yeah,
It is America,
It's
so.
part of it. Like, and I don't get nervous myself, but I'd imagine, being, Kay's always told me, like, as a girl, she walks to her car and she's clenching her purse no matter where she's at, because you never know who's gonna be the person that comes into you and maybe snatches your purse. It could be another girl, it could be a kid, whatever. But like, you have this vulnerability, right? And even
It could be an Oliver Twist style street
Yes.
urchin gang.
It could be. Whatever
dirty,
it is.
dirty newsies just coming and going like, "Oh, governor,
So-
give me your pocketbook."
So Jerry, I kind of wanted to round up this conversation. Well, what'd you want to say?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I don't want Katie to think that I'm trying to belittle it. That's a
no.
legitimate concern, and I get
Yeah.
it. And you shouldn't do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. 100%.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But does she have a second? Let's see. I want to buy surround set, but I don't know what yet.
I'll talk to you tomorrow at work.
Yeah, and
We'll work together.
just do some, Google some sound systems and stuff. Talk to people like Scotty and everything.
Yes.
Seriously, like I'm sure Scotty will be able to help you find something great.
I'll go to the store
But
and buy it with you. I'm that kind
it's
of guy.
well, and it's an understandable fear or nervousness for sure.
Sure.
Like I still have that.
Yeah.
I still have that. You go watch a movie and you're like, okay, I want to make sure no one walks
Hey,
in or whatever. It's just
I just
it's
thought
just
of
always
this.
in our minds.
I want to talk about this just before we end this.
You're good. You're good.
We kind of didn't even talk about Star Wars this entire time, which I love that.
We
But
kind of
a little
did.
bit.
But this comes into it because it is one of the things that has made the theater experience
Sure.
It is it well
necessary.
you could just leave a period on that. It is
Yeah.
what it is one of the things that made the blockbuster experience, that and
Yes.
Jaws.
Yes.
Just really made it explode.
Changed
so.
everything. So
Yeah.
I wanted to end on this only because I think it's an interesting idea and format to talk about. How much has, the idea of reserved seating changed your life? Because do you remember I mean, you remember, dude, back in the day. Oh, do you remember when you
saving
could reserve
seats?
Do you remember when you could reserve seats, but you couldn't do it through an app? Like I remember going to the theater in like 2011 and like 2014-ish time, and you could go reserve seats in that morning and then go back that evening and get those spots. But I'll never forget. The
we
first
did
time on a phone. Oh,
Yeah.
it was so amazing.
You know how we did that when I worked at a movie theater? Is we went and we taped off the rows for people sometimes.
That's amazing. I love
if
that.
if it was like we pay for these seats and stuff, if it was like a birthday party, we would basically
Sure.
we would block off the bottom couple of rows of the stadium seating.
Yeah.
Because you want to have if it's mainly kids and stuff. We had a lot of birthday parties come through because we were like the only movie theater in our town.
Yeah.
And the largest that was not 30 minutes away. And so that was, it was a big thing for Little Arkansas.
But how much do you think that's changed your movie going experience?
It has made it
So
so much
nice.
better because I can always go in there and I'm like, all right, I'm always like
This is it.
back row, middle.
And literally, whatever
Back row,
time you
middle.
want to get there before the movie starts.
Or
get
middle,
there
middle.
As the movies, I'm middle. I'm D. I'm usually D
To get the whole-
or E.
Right,
Whatever's
but
the
I
middle.
also like not having, especially the theater that I have in town. There's an AMC in town that is not stadium seating, but it has the very spaced out recliner
Yeah,
seats.
I know what you're talking
and
about.
stuff. For not having stadium seating, it's pretty awesome.
Sure.
But it's just, I don't, for some reason I don't like people behind me. Well, it kind of eliminates people talking behind you. It's all in front of
Sure.
you. So
All in front of
I don't
you.
know if that's a strategy some can try.
Sure,
if you
I
want.
could try
You're
it,
welcome.
maybe.
That's the patented cable strategy.
Cable strategy. I get it.
Cable strategy back
My
middle.
mom sees movies that way. She loves the back middle or back corner.
Ella, front middle. Ella loves
Because
my kiddo loves front middle. Kids
My
love
mom-
front.
My mom will check her phone because she has a special needs daughter, and so she will check her phone from the sitter. And like you're not messing anyone up at that point because you're like
Right,
right
and
in the
if
back,
if you have to check your phone, sit in the back.
yeah. So it works. It works really well if you
Seriously.
figure out that way of doing it.
There are
And,
ways to get around all of this, but
heck yeah.
but like you were saying, the reserve seating was the biggest game changer. That's why they're not going back to it. It's all that, or
and
the theater
with
doesn't
COVID
work
now-
anymore.
With COVID now,
Well, and you have to
Genius.
do it because
You have
to make sure people are spaced out
Yes.
and everything. You have to
love
make
it.
sure, which is it makes me feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good because it's like, and when you buy a seat, at least at the AMC, it blocks out like
It's
the seats next
guaranteed.
to you, guaranteed two seats away from you. Like you have
Yep.
to have two seats between each person
yep, it's awesome.
So,
speaking
that
of
aren't in your party.
Jerry, I don't know if we're going to be starting late next week. I know I'm saying this on live, but I'm going to see Shang-Chi at 6:00. But I can be back to do Bomb at 8:30, probably 9:00. My
I'm
time.
gonna try to do my best. I don't know
You're
if
gonna
I,
see it too?
I want to because I don't
Try
know
to.
when I'm ever gonna see it again.
You're right.
Because I wanted to see Free Guy opening
Uh-huh.
weekend, and I just like with my new again, guys, my new job. Just like when I
it's
go,
brutal.
I'm working till like 10, 11
Yeah.
and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, and running away from dogs and shit like that. It's great. It's great. I love
But
it.
no, but if you, I mean, I don't know what you're doing next Thursday, but Shang-Chi, man, I got
I'm
my
gonna
tickets.
I'm gonna look.
excited.
I'm gonna look it up as soon as we get done here, probably
So,
after we get
yeah.
off the air. Yeah.
We were
But
gonna.
we might be a little later. We might be a little later. Go see Shang-Chi if you can.
Yes.
And come back for a late night Bombad.
Yes, it's gonna be exciting. That being
Come back for a nightcap.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk Shang-Chi. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That being said, Jerry.
Yes.
Before we have our special guest sing us out, I would love for you to plug your show. Let's hear about your show. Come on.
Well, my show is just it's honestly been one of the most fun things I've been able to do. Besides Bombadcast, I don't know, man, like Hyperfocus, sitting down with someone, having a conversation about something that they are interested in.
We had a great time, you and me. We had a
And we
great
got the
time.
best review from
I know.
doing that. Andy they gave us a fantastic review, saying that they loved just watching us because it was just two dudes who love each other, weren't afraid to show it, having a conversation about everything from religion to the future to things like that.
Oh,
and he
awesome.
said, they said, it was their thing. They love it. And so, Andy, thank you so much. I don't think you're in here, but thank you so much. We love you so much, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it. And Jerry, you know what's on Wednesday, bud? What's on Wednesday?
Oh, hell. We got Bombad Gaming every Wednesday. Scotty here.
Destroy All Humans 2.
Oh,
It's
my
Wednesday.
Lord. I
Jerry's
got to
gonna
make
watch
sure.
it.
I
Jerry's
hope
gonna
I make
watch
it. I might not be working. I'll see. I'll see if I may not be working as late that day. We'll see.
Oh, good.
But I hope so, because that's one of my, like, Destroy All Humans was one of my all-time favorite games. The remake that just get the remaster actually
I want
was.
to play it. I want to play it. It looks so
It's
good.
really good. It's the same game, but it really is a facelift, and it is like they work on the mechanics and everything. It is.
Did they re-record all the voices too? I thought they re-recorded everything.
No. It is all. It's the same audio, but again, they retooled. They basically overhauled everything else, and it plays smoother. It plays like a more modern game, but it still feels like the old game. But check Scotty out, playing all kinds of just awesome random games, and just hanging out, and maybe buy him food. Who knows? He might like that.
I need to plug Eric though. Eric's gonna be coming on pretty much most of the month of September, and we will be playing Sonic Adventures, probably 1 and 2. Hopefully we'll beat both games. We'll see. Eric Cottoman's a big Sonic Adventures fan, so we might be playing that. And always, Jerry, next Thursday, we don't know what we're talking about just yet, but I can tell you this much. It's going to be fun. It's going to be Bombadcast style. And you know where to find us here every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Jerry and I are always down to hang out, especially at Jabba, the Hutt's retirement community. Jerry. What should the wonderful people do before we call it a night? And we're not going to play our normal ending because we got to make sure we end.
Are we not? Well, we don't know what we're going to talk about next week. It could be whatever we want. I don't know, But Scotty, honestly, tonight was kind of like, it made me feel like this.
Olive Garden.
It seriously is so good. It seriously has been so good. I'm just like wanting to play every one of our clips right now. I'll stop. But Scotty, you know what the wonderful people should do out there?
What? What should they do, Gerald?
You should stay bombad.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share.
What is it? Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick.
Love you, Michael.
Or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
No, you can't!
Make a change.
You can't make that happen, Chucky.
It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
Those snaps. I didn't notice the snaps till just now.
My favorite winter coat. This wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street.
Munch's Make Believe Band, everybody.
Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A soundless disregard, a broken bottle top,
And a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer.
If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways.
28, I believe.